Hey everyone, I don't know about you, but I've been struggling to find some great books this year. So far I've read 36, and I've found that a few of them are definitely worth reading. But in this video today, I'm going to recommend some books that are coming out in September and October. Some of them have already come out, and others will come out later this month and also at the beginning of October. So I've got 5 of them for you, and also stay till the end because I've got a bonus fiction book. The 5 are nonfiction, and then the bonus one is a fiction book. So yeah, let's jump into the video. Let's dive in. Let's discover what we have in store for September and October. The first one on my list is Elon Musk by Walter Isaacson. This one came out on September 12th. And I am dying to get into this book because I just want to get into the mind of Elon Musk. I want to get into his childhood. I know this one dives deeply into his struggles with his father, which I discovered a little bit about in the previous book about Elon Musk by Ashley Vance, which I read I think around 2017 or so. And so I just wanted I'm very interested in psychology. I'm very interested in how successful people's minds and habits and lifestyles and all that stuff work. So I want to see in the mind of this brilliant yet man-like child person. I want to see into the mind and the life of him. And I've read several of Walter Isaacson's biographies before, and he's such an amazing biographer, like Leonardo da Vinci and also Steve Jobs, and there's several others out there that were amazingly written biographies about these amazing people. So that's my biggest reason for reading Elon Musk. Elon Musk is not even gone yet, and he's done so many things. Whether you think that he's a positive or negative type of guy, I still want to find out. So yeah, that's the first book. All right, now so for the second book, we've got The Spice Must Flow, the story of Dune from cult novels to visionary sci-fi movies by Ryan Britt. Now Ryan Britt, he is an amazing author when it has to do with anything sci-fi, whether it has to do with books or movies or Star Trek. I had a podcast with him recently about his book called Phasers on Stun, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I read it earlier this year. So I'm going to be reading one of his other books, also about a sci-fi classic about Dune. And I've got the whole Dune series here, the book series. So I've got all of them. I've read the first one, this one right here. And I'm currently reading the second one right now. This one, Dune Messiah. So I'm really looking forward to what Ryan has to say about the books, about the movies, about the movie that was made in 1980s, as well as the recent movie, and then the upcoming movie coming up in March. And just the way that he writes, the way that he storytells, the way that he researches and interviews the different people that were involved in either writing or filming, the actors, like I'm sure he's got a plethora of information into the world of Dune. And for those of you out there that are watching this channel, which is mainly about nonfiction books, I want you to try and get out of the habit of just reading nonfiction books, because literary works of art such as Dune have a whole lot of value to them, and you can learn a whole lot about human nature through these books, about politics. Even though it comes from the imagination of a visionary mind, it still relates to our real life. So, and it's also a good form of entertainment too. So you're not just learning, but you're also being entertained at the same time. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And I forgot to tell you the date that it comes out. I've got written here. It's September 26th. So pretty soon. Yeah, put that one on your list if you're at all interested in any of the Dune movies or books. And here we got book number 3, Making It So, a memoir by Patrick Stewart, none other than Sir Patrick Stewart, or as some people know, Captain Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek The Next Generation, as well as the movies that he played in, as well as Professor X. So I really want to know more about the person in front of the camera. I want to know about his life from his perspective. And I've read several other biographies by actors, such as Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it takes a whole lot of tenacity to get to the position they are in their life. So I want to know about that tenacity. I want to know about the good deeds that they've done in their lives, because there's a whole lot more than we know as fans of the shows that they play in or the movies that they play in. There's a whole lot more that goes on in their lives. Good deeds that they've probably done. I want to know about those. Maybe I can replicate those in my life. So yeah, that's the whole reason for me reading about this man who played as iconic characters, and I want to know about the person that was in front of those cameras for so many years. And he's getting up there, his age, right? He's like in his 80s, so we don't know how much longer he's going to be with us. So I want to read about his life while he's still here so that I can appreciate it. And it, by the way, it comes out October 3rd, so be looking for that one on your bookshelves soon, or the bookstores soon. And here's book number 4. We're getting into more of a self-help type of book. It's called Clear Thinking: Turning Ordinary Moments into Extraordinary Results by Sane Parrish of Farnham Street, which maybe you've heard of before. Extraordinary newsletter all about thinking and learning. It's right up my alley, which is probably up your alley too, because I post a lot about that stuff. So you're probably subscribed to this channel partly because of that. So yeah, it's a book to look forward to, although it's kind of weird. On Goodreads, I hate how a book that's not even out yet can be rated by people. And this book has, for some reason, been rated like maybe 24, 25 times already, even though it's not out. By the way, it comes out October 3rd. And the rating seems to be quite low. We can't always trust ratings, of course. Maybe it's like haters out there or something, like trying to bring the rating down. But I want to read this book because I have been subscribed to Farnham Street for a very long time. And I feel like the content from those newsletters are really good. I've also read another book by Farnham Street, which is of course run by Sane Parrish. It's called Mental Models, that's it. That was a nice book because it had like 7 mental or 8 mental models that we could apply in our lives. So I really just want to find out more about this book, and I always am striving to think clearer, so I think this book would be a good fit for that. So be looking for that one on the bookstore shelves soon on October 3rd. And the last book that's officially on this list, other than the bonus one, is the book you want everyone you love to read, and maybe a few you don't. Sane and Sage Advice to Help You Navigate All of Your Most Important Relationships by Philippa Perry. Now, you may recognize this name. She's been on my channel before, or her book has been on my channel before. The book called The Book You Wish Your Parents Had Read and Your Kids Will Be Glad You Did. And I read this one back in like 2018 or 19. One of my favorite books about parenting, not because it dives into parenting so much, although it does, of course, but it dives into the self, into improving the self. Because first, if you want to be a great parent, you must develop yourself first before you can develop your child. And if you are not developed, then it makes it much harder to develop your child. The reason why I want to read her new book, which is more about, I think, communication and the relationships around you than it is about parenting. It may touch on that a little bit, I'm not sure. But the reason why is because her writing is honest and sometimes brutal. Not in the way that it makes you feel offended, but in the way that makes you go like, oh wow, I never thought about it like that before. It makes your eyes open and your mind open to things that you didn't realize that you need to maybe change or adjust in your life. And she just makes you realize that maybe your life is not as perfect as as it could be. And of course, communication is such a big factor in all of our lives. We all need to become better communicators, and one of the best ways to do that is to continuously study about it and then apply in our lives. So be looking forward to that one. On October 12th is the release date. Time for the bonus book. The bonus book is this big one right here, which actually was released on August 1st, hence the reason why I've got the physical copy. Cassiel's Servant by Jacqueline Carey. And I'll read the inside cover just so that you get the gist of what it's about. So in Crucial's Dart, a daring young courtesan uncovered a plot to destroy her beloved homeland, but hers is only half the tale. Now see the other half of the heart that lived it. Cassiel's Servant is a retelling of cult favorite Crucial's Dart from the point of view of Jocelyn, Castellan warrior priest and protector of Fedra no Delane. Jocelyn is sworn to celibacy, and the blade, as surely as Pedra, has been pledged to pleasure. But the gods they serve have bound them together, and when they both are betrayed, they must rely on each other to survive. Jocelyn's journey with Pedra to avert the conquest of Terre d'Ange shatters body and mind, and brings him an impossible love that he will do anything to keep, even if it means breaking all vows and losing his soul. So back in 2011, I read the very first book called Crucial's Dart, and I read all of the other books in the series. There are a total of 6 in the Crucial Legacy series, and I felt like all of them were quite amazing. They really got me into the habit of reading. Back at that time, I wasn't reading too much. The only things that I was reading was like sci-fi and fantasy. So it holds a special place in my heart, this series. It really created a good habit and love for reading. I've always kind of had that spark inside of me, but it never really took off until I found a book that I really, truly enjoyed. And this is one of those books. This is one of those series. And the series was written way back in like early 2000s, and then finally there's like this book 1.5. So I want to dive into this character and see everything from his point of view and relive the story from that perspective in a way. I've already started reading the book. It's not quite as good as the original, but still I'm enjoying it. It's like revisiting a friend from a different perspective, or maybe a friend that you just haven't seen in a very long time. So I'm very excited to dive into this story and just read a little bit more of this world and these characters and see if Jacqueline Carey can actually pull it off like 20 some odd years later. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this list. I hope that like at least one of the 6 books that I suggested is something that kind of interests you, or maybe you discovered something new because, well, for sure you've probably heard about the Elon Musk book, but you may not have heard of The Spice Must Flow or Making It So. That rhymes. And also like the book by Philippa Perry. I mean, she's a great author, and I think that you'll really enjoy reading some of these books. I know that I will when they come out, and I got to get my hands on the Elon Musk book. Here in Indonesia, it's kind of hard to get a hold of some English books. So hopefully it will be available to us very soon. Thank you so much, y'all, for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. This channel wouldn't exist without your support. So please do subscribe to it and also share if you found value in some of these book recommendations. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Take care, keep on reading. Bye-bye.